Matt Geiger, and welcome into the non-spoiler review of Marvel's Doctor Strange. Jeff, let's take it from the top, man. Doctor Strange, or I like to rename it, Stephen Strange Begins. How did you like the origin story they set up in this movie?
First off, thanks for having me, Matt. Welcome, Marvel and DC fans alike. If you just got back from the movie, we're very excited to talk to you. I liked Benedict Cumberbatch's introduction he gave us into Stephen Strange. Obviously, this is non-spoiler, so we're not going to go over any of the plot details, but in the comic book, Stephen Strange is a very arrogant neurosurgeon. Benedict Cumberbatch is so charming in real life that I was like, it actually might be kind of difficult for him to play a huge asshole on my screen. And he didn't quite go as asshole as I would have liked, but they definitely conveyed that this guy's sort of cocky. I like the beginning of it. They really kind of let you... This, as far as origin stories go, I knew we were going to get a little more character in the beginning as far as like jumping right in, which was really fun. More Cumberbatch on screen is always a good thing. And I thought the intro was really strong to me, and I thought that it did a good job of setting the tone. Obviously, we'll kind of get into with what the elements they had to introduce you to in the movie. It kind of gets a little bit out there at certain points, but I enjoyed getting to know Stephen Strange as a neurosurgeon. What were your thoughts on sort of the first act?
Well, coming from a DC guy, and obviously I said this before our Stephen Strange pre-show, pre-movie, I didn't know too much about his character. I felt like they got me caught up pretty quick, and Marvel's, I mean, they're spectacular at that. Going from a Netflix show, if they have 4 episodes or 20 minutes, they can get you caught up pretty quick and you feel like you know the character. Now, I feel like this movie was Batman Begins meets Star Wars Episode 1, and I'm not saying that as a diss. I actually love Episode 1, but talking about the Dark Dimension, talking about how Stephen Strange is kind of the missing piece to their magical kingdom, the only kind of niche I have on this is that I felt like it was a little rushed, and when I was watching the movie, they kept saying, hey, he's an arrogant asshole, you get it? He only cares about himself. I didn't see it, and we're always, show me, not tell me type thing, but the origin story, they couldn't have this movie be 2.5 hours, so I get it. I was okay with it. Now, especially when he was getting trained and everything, it was definitely Ra's al Ghul style. It was awesome. It definitely spoke to me. I was very excited to see this, not knowing too much about the comic. Now, switching gears, I want to talk about the best scene because this was so marvelously directed, and there's a ton of stuff that we can pick apart on the best scene, but I want to get your idea. What do you think is the best scene from this movie?
All right, now we're going to do our best job to say the best scene without spoiling anything in the movie, obviously. My favorite scene involves the Ancient One just kind of showing you basically what she's capable of, not only physically with her abilities that you did not quite know that she had. She was much more spry than you imagined a Tilda Swinton Ancient One would be, hopping around. Sort of an allusion to almost Yoda in Attack of the Clones there. But also just visually what Scott Derrickson was able to do very early in the movie to let us see that they're going to definitely bend sort of the rules with what we've come to know in a Marvel movie as far as what we're able to see. I thought that was, I mean, obviously what you go, part of the allure in going and seeing this movie is it's going to fucking blow your mind visually. And that was what they kind of threw at us. So a scene very early on in the film with the Ancient One where she's sort of demonstrating, hey, I'm a badass, and like get used to that because you're going to see a lot of it in this film. That was probably my favorite, but there were also a lot of really good character moments with Stephen Strange and Christine Palmer, Rachel McAdams' character that I liked. Specifically the scene, again, I won't go into it to spoil it, but there's a scene where they sort of get into an argument that I thought was incredibly well written by Scott Derrickson that worked really well. What did you think, Geiger?
Well, the scene you were talking about was actually in the trailer when she kind of hit him and he kind of went out of his body. So that's not too spoiler. The scene that I'm going to talk about is not in the trailer at all. It's something happens and they're in a medical lab and someone's getting operated on, but they go out of their body and they have a conversation with the Ancient One and Doctor Strange. And the conversation that they have between each other, for me, it just really brings the bond in between them, and it makes Doctor Strange really believe what the Ancient One is telling them. And this is not a quote for the movie, just what I got from it, is that time only matters if you let it, and a second to you might be a millennium to someone else. And it was so cool how they just stopped everything and just kind of took a step back and kind of looked outside their body and actually had this story all come into fruition and stuff. That was the scene, and if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. And if you haven't, after you watch it, you'll know what the fuck I'm talking about. But the directing in this was so spectacular. It was everything, I think, if you're a Doctor Strange fan, which I haven't met many Marvel fans that say, hey, man, in the top 3, Doctor Strange is number 1. But if you are, I think you're very satisfied with this movie. Now, going to our next dynamic, just taking off the directing realm, we need to talk about a little more of the directing, because this was Inception meets superheroes. This is Inception meets blockbuster. The directing in this, Jeff, you have to see this in fucking 3D, right? There's no other way to see this movie.
Yeah, you're I mean, we say this a lot of times in jest, but if you don't see this in 3D, you're cheating yourself.
Yeah.
Out of it. Scott Derrickson, who wrote and directed the movie, I think he did an incredible job directing it. To be totally honest, I do not think it was a great script. I really don't. I think the strongest part of it was his origin story in sort of the first act. And that they just took, I mean, look, not to totally discredit Scott Derrickson, but that was ripped page by frame for frame from what Steve Ditko and Stan Lee wrote as his origin story in the comics, which obviously comic fans love to see, but we can't give Scott Derrickson credit for writing Doctor Strange's origin in the movie. I thought that all kind of the key elements to the plot, there were a few scenes that had some good exposition from the characters, specifically our villain in this movie, but I felt like the pacing was really quick. The story felt in the beginning like it was very well paced, slowed down, and we were getting to fully meet everybody and understand everything. And then I felt like the last hour of the movie happened in like 5 seconds, basically. And I don't mean it went by so quickly as in, oh, that was really enjoyable. I mean, like, what happened? So, excellent visuals, got the tone right, he nailed some of the good dialogue scenes, but I think after the first
jokes in it for sure. It had the Marvel jokes everyone loves. It's definitely a Marvel movie.
Right, but after the first act, I felt like the pacing really kind of threw me off, and a lot of that is due to the trippy nature of it, but I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts on, because we always love when someone writes and directs their own film, because really there's no one else that you can actually look to give credit for or blame for something.
Well, first off, talking about how you should see this movie, Jeff, I like French fries, but I love French fries with cheese and bacon on them. I like Doctor Strange, but I love Doctor Strange in fucking 3D. This is a movie you need to put your fucking glasses on for.
Yeah.
It is a directing masterpiece. It's something that in the comic book world, I don't think we've ever seen before. Even with Avengers or something that are big kaboom shit, I don't think DC's really dived into this too much. Harry Potter might have. I haven't seen many of those films, but it is a fucking directing masterpiece. But whenever you step away from that, it's definitely a Marvel film. It has a lot of Easter eggs in it, for sure. Avengers Tower is shown, I think, 3 times in this fucking movie. It has the jokes. It has stuff about New York. It has, what'd you say about the Daredevil thing?
Mercy General Hospital.
Yes. Mercy General Hospital's in this. There's a lot of Easter eggs that you guys will definitely fucking give. That's not giving anything away on that. Now, switching to the other lens of the camera, the acting, definitely had a superstar cast, like every fucking superhero movie does now.
Right.
But what is one actor? I mean, besides Cumberbatch fucking murders in this, guy. Seriously, he is fantastic. He is Stephen Strange ripped off the page from the comics I read anyway. I think he did a fantastic job. But what are some of the actors that stood out for you?
Well, I'll say this. Obviously, Joaquin Phoenix was rumored for a long time to be attached to Doctor Strange before Cumberbatch got it. And after you see how much personality he put into this role, I find it really hard to picture Joaquin Phoenix as Stephen Strange.
Yeah, I don't think he'd be good.
No, so Benedict Cumberbatch is a free space. You don't even get to count him as a great actor. This was a cast that was star-studded, and like you and I had talked a while ago, the superhero genre for movies is so legitimate now that 8 to 10 years ago, these caliber of actors, if you would have told me they'd all be in a Doctor Strange movie, again, I would have said, you're high, and you would have been like, yeah, I am, but that's also the cast. So, The big standout to me.
We love people that do drugs on the Broforce Squad. You're welcome. You're welcome to like our page and subscribe to us.
Yeah, you probably are on drugs if you've liked and subscribed to us and are listening to us now. But Tilda Swinton was the huge standout to me. Obviously, there was some controversy, but a lot of excitement when they cast a female to play a role that is traditionally an elderly Asian man. Now, granted, you're taking a role away from a minority. I understand that. But in the comics, which were written in the 60s and 70s, let's be totally honest. The Mandarin and the Ancient One are racist caricatures of, of Asian culture. They are. Yeah. There's no way around it. So to cast Tilda Swinton in this role was great. She is phenomenal in everything she does. I actually don't think I've ever seen a role where she didn't knock it completely out of the park. And she gave it a really good job of kind of like you were saying earlier, giving us good perspective as sort of like a motherly sort of role model figure, while also at the same time having levity and humor and then being a badass too. So that was probably my favorite performance out of some really strong performances, I thought. What did you think?
I'm going to agree with you. She did fantastic, but you know what? I'm a stubborn motherfucker, and this chick definitely proved me right. And going along with what we talked about 2 days ago on our pre-show, Rachel McAdams was the star of this fucking movie, man. She really was. And what I know about Doctor Strange from the comics, I don't think they really had a love interest. In this, they were really tiptoeing around it. I think they talked about they might have hooked up a couple years ago, but
maybe
now
like drunk at the office Christmas party or something.
Yeah. Who hasn't, right? Jesus. Put me in cuffs.
Yeah,
but
that's illegal.
She did fucking fantastic in this. I've been a fan of her since Mean Girls. She can be funny in Southpaw. If you've never seen that, please go fucking watch it. She is fantastic in that. She can carry a scene like nobody else. She deserves an Oscar if she hasn't gotten one already, but she is the most... You know what? I'm so sick of Jennifer Lawrence. Get her the fuck out of here. Get me Rachel McAdams any day of the week. I love Rachel McAdams, and she shines so bright in this movie for sure.
I'll say this. I was worried...
Let her be Mystique.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Oh, damn, that'd be cool. I was worried at first because there are 3 night nurses in the comics. We've already met 2 in the MCU. Claire Temple, obviously Rosario Dawson, and Christine Palmer, played by Rachel McAdams. But I was worried that she was not going to have that big of a role in this movie. I was worried that mainly in the beginning, in his origin story, she would be featured, and then maybe not so much after he sort of meets the Ancient One. But they did a really good job of keeping her in the film and giving her a really substantial role, which I'm glad, because I don't want you to cast someone like Rachel McAdams and then not let her actually do what she's good at, you know?
Rachel McAdams is who Natalie Portman would have been if she gave a fuck and tried. Yeah. Basically.
Totally agree.
That's who she is in this movie. Whenever you see Natalie Portman in Thor 2 and you're like, why did she care? That's who Rachel McAdams is. Like, wow, a talented actress that cares and acts. That's who she is in this movie.
What a rarity these days. Someone who runs out a fucking ground ball.
Okay, so now that we're done with this shit, and I'm finally done with this, as a DC fan, this is the question I love to ask. Things you didn't like about this movie. I got a couple.
Do you want to go first? Why don't you go first?
Oh, you want? Okay. I will go first. Thank you for asking, Jeff. Now, if Marvel, for all our sports fans out there, and college football is kind of the big deal right now, right? If Marvel was a college football league, they'd be the Big 12, and this is why. Because their offense is fucking spectacular. It's so fun to watch them. They put up 62 points a game, talking about their superheroes and their development through them. But their defense... their villains couldn't stop a period on its 8th day with a fucking wool blanket because their villains are fucking terrible. They have never done a good villain. Oh, wait, what about Thanos? Oh, you mean the villain you've been teasing since I was in fucking 7th grade? Yeah, cool. Put him in a movie and maybe I'll decide if he's good or not. They have never done a good villain. You've had Mickey Rourke go in there. You threw him away. Every villain, you have him come in for 2 scenes. Hey, he has eyeshadow on, or he has long hair, or hey, he's on steroids. Be scared of him, but he's going to die at the end. The villain in this movie sucked so goddamn bad. Just like every goddamn Marvel movie. And I sat through it, and I crossed my arms every time he was on. I'm like, oh, I'm scared of him, whatever. He'll be gone in fucking 2 minutes, whatever. That was my one problem with this movie. And, yeah, I was looking for it, and you gave it to me. So...
I'll say
was
this.
I wrong, Jeff? Am I wrong?
No. Marvel does not get villains right. There is one exception, and this is not a defense because out of 14, 15 movies, they've only got it right once or twice. But Loki is a good villain that has had a lot of character development.
Yeah, Loki was good.
Now I'll say this: Caecilius, played by Mads Mikkelsen, has an awesome opening scene, and just like me,
he's a great actor.
Just like
That's
me,
they cast great actors for these villains.
Yeah,
but they all suck.
Just like me in 7th grade, he peaked too soon. So yeah, again, it's just the thing, and it's difficult in an origin story too. And this is not an excuse again because DC has done it, but you want to give the hero so much screen time and so much character development because Stephen Strange is the one who's going to be around for the next 4 or 5 years.
That.
But at the same time, if it affects the movie and the storyline and the stakes, then yeah, it's an issue. Now, granted, in this one, and this isn't a spoiler because I won't say who, but there are some other things certainly at work and maybe some other antagonists that are kind of on the peripheral that we see. But yeah, I mean, Marvel they kind of fell into the same trope they had before. Now, it wasn't as bad as the Mandarin, although nothing is. Which,
once again, you had a fantastic actor casted.
Yeah, I can't even.
Fantastic actors casted. You can't say they're just throwing away the villain thing. They're actually trying. They're having fantastic actors casted these villains.
Yeah.
Just not getting it right.
So I'll agree with you. That was definitely a disappointment, and I mean, it didn't like ruin the movie for me, but it was definitely something where I was kind of like you. Every time he came on the screen, I was like, he's just here so that we can make Doctor Strange look good. Like he's really not here for us to be invested in what's going on with him.
He's the hacksaw Jim Duggan to Hulk Hogan, basically. Like, hey man, just lay down and make Hulk Hogan look.
He's
strong.
like the Washington Generals, and Doctor Strange was like the Harlem Globetrotters, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hey, dunk on these white kids real quick.
Okay, Jeff, let's score this shit. If people are listening to this and have already seen it, then wait for our spoiler one that'll come out soon. If you haven't seen it, then let's score it for them. Should they see this or not? Score it.
Yes. Out of 10?
Sure.
You need to see it. You should see every superhero movie, whether you're Marvel or DC. They're all connected at this point, except Fox. Yes, I said it. You need to go see them as a public responsibility. This one was a success for Marvel. It was not a bad movie at all. Now, granted, Marvel set the bar very high. Did they clear it with this? Probably not, but it's a good movie that I think I will see a second time in theaters. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10. Just so people know, I gave BVS a 9. I gave Civil War a 10, and I gave Suicide Squad, I believe, a 6.
Must have felt nice that day. Okay, should you see this movie? Absolutely, yes. First off, it connects a lot of stuff, which Marvel does a fantastic job because Doctor Strange. Would I have ever seen a Doctor Strange movie that didn't connect? Probably not, man. It's not my deal. And I'm not saying that it's a bad comic. It's a fantastic comic if you dig it. I just dig stuff where, people take a pill and become the Incredible Hulk and beat the fuck out of stuff. That speaks to me. But some people speak to, science and magic and stuff like that. If that speaks to you, you should definitely see it. But if you're a Marvel fan or just a person that wants to see a blockbuster, this is the only blockbuster that's coming out until Rogue One. You should definitely see it. The after credit scenes, which we won't get into, I'll let Horn Second Banner take that. You need to see it. It connects a lot of stuff. If you've ever read a Doctor Strange comic, if you know who Doctor Strange is, it stays very true to his origin.
Yeah, if you read the comics, you will like this movie a lot.
Yeah, I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for sure. It's really good. It didn't speak to me.
And that's
but
fair.
I still enjoyed watching it for sure. It was fantastically directed, fantastically casted. All the cast on it was really good. Was the villain weak? Yeah, but the villain was weak in Avengers too. But that's a fucking 10 out of 10. So who cares, really, right? I mean, it's a Marvel movie, and it's got the jokes in it. They got some jokes about Beyonce and stuff that you old guys will fucking dig. It's really fun to watch. You definitely should watch it. Definitely pay the extra money though to see it in 3D.
Yeah.
Don't short yourself on that. Unless you're gonna see it 2 or 3 times, and maybe see it regular. So, anything else before you cast off?
I think that's it. I need to get back to the Sanctum Sanctorum to protect Earth.
Because if you don't know what that is, then definitely go watch the movie. So that'll be our non-spoiler.
We saved
review.
you.
For our spoiler review, tune in tomorrow. And for everything else Bro4 Squad, check out our website, bro4squad.com. We also have a blog on there. Tweet at us. Sorry, I've been drinking. At Bro4 Squad. Like us on Facebook. And subscribe to us on YouTube and iTunes. Until next time, comic book fans, we'll catch you later.
Maybe like then should have put a ring on it.